Hi, folks. Welcome back to the Nancy Drew Book Lover. And yeah, so on this channel, I do reviews of Nancy Drew books, of both physical and digital, and also do Nancy Drew book hauls and Nancy Drew merch hauls, depending on what qualifies as a merch haul. Alright, so for people that don't know, I have the Kindle Paperwhite. This is the 11th gen. I've decided to use the 12th gen as a backup when this one finally dies. So I decided when my mother passed away that I was going to start collecting the Nancy Drew books. I do have some from various different series. However, the series that I really want to collect is the original run of books, and this even goes beyond like the final one. So it goes all the way to like early 2000s. So so I'm going to be doing a short review of the first three Nancy Drew books that I read, and then I'm going to be talking about them. So alright. Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one. Alright. Okay. So the first one that I read that was part of the original run, this is the unedited version of the books. This is this hold on a second. I'm gonna back up. The Secret of the Old Clock. So you see that right in the middle. I'm actually going to do something that I should have done, and I'm going to do another collection. Right. So okay, I'm just scrolling. Here. The Secret of the Old Clock. Here. Hidden Staircase. Alright. So these are the books I have right now. These are the original. So earlier this year, so every January 1st, a certain section of media from a certain time frame, they they come in public domain. And sometimes they will be used to study a point in history in the entertainment world, like I think the Hays Code, I think that's what the book's called. There is material coming out that was before the Hays Code. If I have it wrong, then please forgive me. So yeah, so now they can research it and they don't have to get permission from the copyright holder. But anyways, these are the 4 books that just went into public domain, and I'm very happy about that. So let's talk about the first 3 that I've already read. So I generally read about 2 Nancy Drew books a month. However, I am upping it down to like 4, maybe 5 books a month, because I really want to read all the Nancy Drew books that were published. It might be more than that, depending on a lot of things. So, The Secret of the Old Clock is the first book. This is the one I read. I actually have the revised version of the book in my tote. But The Secret of the Old Clock is the first Nancy Drew mystery, and it's basically about this man who died, and he told a lot of people that he was going to leave them money, people that were good to him. And of course you have this family is very stuck up and snobbish, and Nancy finds the will and finds the will inside this old clock, and of course everybody gets what's coming to them. The revised version took out all of the things that made the first book good, and they added stuff to the plot that wasn't there, like the child wasn't there. The music lessons were not there. It's like they just chopped it up in little bit pieces and rearranged stuff. The Hidden Staircase is book number 2. This is another one that got the what do you want to call it. And basically it is about Nancy trying to help these 2 women out who are living in this house and basically trying to drive them away and everything. And that was a really good one. It really shows how bad greed actually is. The third one was The Bungalow Mystery, and this deals with a girl called Laura Piddleton, I think that's her last name. Her mother has passed away, and she has these jewels, and she's going to be raised by her very wealthy guardian, and it turns out that who Nancy and her friends thought were the guardian turns out to not be the guardian. So she has to help her friend out, which I thought was really good. So these 4 books, The Secret of Lilac Inn is the one I got on Thursday. It is the 4th, I said, this is the last one that was released in public domain. I don't know if they have the 5th one in these covers or not, but on my Kobo reader, I have all the way up to book 11. So, I can easily do that. But my biggest worry, now my 5th one I'm not really having to worry, but I am going to read it. So I'm going to read all my Nancy Drew books solely on her Kindle, mainly because, got 4 of them already on there. All 3 books were really good. I was really kind of teed off with the fact that you had the 1933 cover, but it was in the revised or edited version. If I wanted that, I would have gotten the original. I would have gotten the 1960s cover. All in all, these books are good. They do have stereotypes and words that you would not be really fond of, but in their context, you're talking about a series that was released during what I would call a really bad time in American history. And it pictures a world in which everybody has food, everybody has housing, everybody has everything. And I really think that it gave little girls something that they just didn't have at that time. They had a world where nobody was jobless, nobody was hungry, nobody was homeless, and the economy was good. And I think that for, young girls growing up during that time and having Nancy Drew as this, you know, icon to look up to, I think was very important. And I think we really need to look at that in that kind of context, that yes, people believe that stuff, but it did not change or did not affect how Nancy adventures played out. And that's what I really liked about it. I did read a lot of the original covered books. That's why I really like them so much. But once I'm done with book 4, I will have no choice in the matter. I will have to go into the edited ones. Not really a fan of that. Next week, I am ordering a couple things. I'm ordering three things. I'm getting the original first original Nancy Drew book. I'm getting a Nancy Drew kind of like a backpack, and I'm also picking up some stickers. But anyways, yeah, so that's my video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys when I get done with this Nancy Drew book. Bye.